Hello and welcome, soccer friends, to Royal Oak, Michigan for USL2 action. It is match day 4 for Oakland County Football Club as OCFC celebrates their 10th season on the field. It started off in the best way possible if you have purple in your heart. A 3-0 start after back-to-back home wins and a road win on Thursday. My name is Robert Kerr, pleased to be joined by Mitch Gatzke on a beautiful summer day here in Southeast Michigan.
It's the definition of a beautiful summer day, Rob. So good to be back in the county just in time. We've got a hot one for you today. A matchup that features number 2 and number 3 in the Great Lakes table currently as the USL2 season plods its way through. Its opening month is coming to a close here. Two teams that have started off well, and this one could go a long way in determining final positioning come the end of the season.
We have just a few moments until AFC Ann Arbor comes into the purple patch of Oakland County FC. So let's get into Coach Walker's starting 11s for this match here on match day 4. At the back, he missed just one game. Rob Jelli, the veteran goalkeeper, at the back. Across the back for a new look, a little bit of a change. Mashtaba El-Haznawi on one side of the defense. In the middle, we got Nicholas Wilson making his home debut. He was a little bit late coming into town and haven't seen him here in the purple patch of Oakland County FC yet. And then right next to him, Shek Atameo. We've seen quite a bit of him. And then pushed to right back position, one of the strongest newcomers to county, Rocco Del Gudice. He's going to be playing right back tonight. In the middle of the park, veteran midfielder Adam McAleenan gets that spot next to captain Colin Arce. He has played every minute of the season so far, and he snuck a last gasp winner on Thursday on the road to Lansing City to get to 3-0 in the forwards. This is really some deep forward action. We got Mateo Correa, Keith Larson, Timmy Alos, and one of the leading scorers in all of USL2, Andrew Juraxian, up top, the number 9.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see how those guys have combined across that top line, switching positions both in starting lineups and throughout games. That positionless kind of amoeba attack style has really benefited County. We're getting contributions from just about everybody that's rotated in across the top, but certainly leading the line has been Andrew Juraxian. 4 goals in his first 2 games, 90 minutes the other night in Lansing as well, and you can't discount the work that he does off the ball as well, creating opportunities, opening up spaces for his teammates.
Yeah, we'll see how this new back line fares here against AFC Ann Arbor. Only 1 goal conceded through 3 games here in the early parts of the USL2 season here in 2026, and that was a long-range free kick that hit the bottom corner. So no goals conceded from open play yet, but a starting center-back duo switcheroo. But Coach Steve Walker has no reticence that that stout back line will change any. So Andrew Juraxian leads the way with 4 goals on the season. Local lads next to him as well. Timmy Alos with 2 on the season. And then the aforementioned captain Colin Arce with 1. Oakland County FC comes into this game in second place, only behind the Flint City Bucks on goal difference, as the Bucks put up a touchdown on Kalamazoo last night to take the goal difference lead in the division. Oakland County FC will see those aforementioned Bucks on the 13th of June. That could well be a table-topping matchup. We are going to get to your player to watch after the anthem, but what are some of the things to look out for? We had a kind of a surprise switch. We got Mateo Correa getting into that forward unit. Weren't expecting to see him from the off, but it's how we lined up in that forward unit as when we saw them last time at home.
It's the beauty of depth that Oakland County now has and the selections that head coach Steve Walker can make. He's got those options to say, okay, maybe I like the looks of this configuration against this team. There's a little bit of film on each of these opposing sides that come in to visit now, so you have a little bit of a database to see how they're set up and what they're trying to do. And being able to game plan around that might have contributed to a bit of a later switch. Could also be fitness related. We just don't know. But the good thing is, County's got plenty of options to cover whatever the situation might be. I'm very intrigued to see what happens at the back. You mentioned new center back pairing. Here today, Rocco's going to slide out to right back, and
he's been one of the best newcomers of the season.
He's
been so stout. He's got the ability and the passion, like we saw in the charity match that we did against the TST team last week up at Oakland University. He was throwing his body on the line, and that wasn't even really points on the line in that one.
Yeah, and so I'm curious. I'm excited to see him kind of flying up and down that right side. Because he did plenty of it from a central position, and you move him outside, he's going to be expected to really put in quite a bit of distance today in covering the attack that Ann Arbor will present. They're in a pretty good run of form here, too, so I am looking for County to keep the positive momentum building. This has been a great first couple of weeks, and looking to kind of ramp this thing into phase 2 of the season, if you will.
AFC Ann Arbor, a familiar foe, played in the division for the last 5 years and had a couple cup run-ins in the years past. In 2025, AFC Ann Arbor, Oakland County FC split the season series, both teams securing road wins. Oakland County FC, a 3-0 win, one of the best results of 2025, but the return leg here in Royal Oak, Michigan, went in favor of the visitors, AFC Ann Arbor, with the 4-2 win last year. So this is the second and third place teams as we stand after 3 games. AFC Ann Arbor began the season with a disappointing 3-0 loss, but have rallied with 2 back-to-back 2-1 wins. So they're nipping on the heels of Oakland County FC coming into this one, and there's been plenty of very tight matchups. We'll get into their lineup as we progress. But I'm really excited to see Mateo Correa, how he steps into it. He's getting more consistent minutes. But, Draxian, does he keep the goal-scoring patch going? And Timmy Alos shouldn't understate the second forward, chipping in all over the field, too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I won't say an embarrassment of riches yet, but it is nice to have multiple guys contributing up top. So you do run into situations where, we haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about Timmy Ellis, although he's done brilliantly as he's come in off the bench a couple of times, getting the start here today as well. So, again, the ability for Steve Walker to pick and choose, depending on what he's seeing in training or just something that's, maybe he's thinking about a new wrinkle to introduce something that opposition hasn't seen before. It really is nice to have these attacking options to select from.
So if you're just joining us, we are live from Royal Oak High School Stadium. It's Central Conference Great Lakes Division of the USL 2 2026 season. This is match day for Oakland County FC, welcoming in AFC Ann Arbor, and it is World Cup day, and the first 50 fans in the door got vuvuzelas. So we're getting the World Cup spirit with everybody's favorite, stadium sound effect, right? Everybody loves a vuvuzela, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very loud in here, even more so than usual with all the vuvuzelas thundering from the Elmwood Elite.
And as always, one of the most ardent partners of Oakland County FC, Diversified Members Credit Union, title sponsor. You see them across the front of the jerseys. Thank you so much for supporting Oakland County FC. And we're just moments away from player introductions. And we get underway, we will turn over some of our sound to PA announcer Kevin Kramus. But very excited to see Coach Steve Walker's selection come out here to the purple patch of Royal Oak High School Stadium. Best start to a USL campaign, Mitch, 3-0. In seasons past in other leagues, we'd started at such a pace, but not in the USL 2 era. as I think we're 5 seasons in the 10th year anniversary of the club.
Yeah, and you mentioned the history between these two clubs that we'll get to see here today. It's been a number of years now where we've kind of met them once or twice this season, so the understanding between the two clubs, kind of how they set up, what their MO is, what they're looking to do in between the lines for 90 minutes. It's an organized club. It's an organized team that's always very well drilled and disciplined and tough to break down and beat. They travel well. They've got some fans here in the stands, supporters section that does the rounds, traveling around to the different Michigan locations here in the division. So Okie Dokie's out on the pitch there with the referees, and we're going to get some starting lineups here in just a second and get this ball rolling.
Yeah, Okie Dokie's really stepping into fine form in his second season for Oakland County FC. Top to bottom in purple. He's finding a purple patch. We've seen him all sorts of places around town, and great to have the purple squirrel. And we're at a bit of a squirrel derby. There was a battle for the Oak. One of the first matchups between these teams is the nickname for AFC Ann Arbor is the Mighty Oak, and obviously based in Royal Oak, Michigan, and the Oak leaf on the badge for Oakland County FC. So it is the battle for the Oak. And then apparently we've doubled down, or AFC Ann Arbor doubled down with the addition of their squirrel mascot. So we'll have to come up with some sort of a squirrel derby name.
I don't see him here today, though. Must have been a little worried about what Okie Dokie might do.
Squirrel and squirrel crime might have been approaching. We had our ball kids out there. We had Sawyer, Olivia, and Benjamin welcoming in the OCFC players. Plenty of birthdays to celebrate today, and actually, we didn't mention already, it's a doubleheader day.
Yes.
Following this game, the Midwest Premier League, the OCFC 2, who's also undefeated coming into that, will be playing tonight at 6:30 on the OCFC YouTube channel. But here comes the OCFC starters here. First out of the tunnel, we'll see that veteran goalkeeper, Rob Jelli. We weren't sure how his hand would be feeling before the previous home game. He had a bit of a finger issue, but he came back into the lineup after missing just one game, so great to see him. And one of the best new players this year, absolutely wonderful fullback, Mush Al-Haznawi. He's really done it all. He's not really let anyone get in behind him, and he's supplied some great balls, and he's gotten some assists. And there's Nick Wilson, the New Jersey guy, coming in from Loyola out in California. There's a great OCFC extra interview with him on the YouTube channel as well. But there's Sheck getting the start, the big number 4 as the new center back pairing. And Rocco Del Giudice, one of the top performing new players to county. Can't say enough about his defensive effort and his abilities, and a weapon with the throw-ins. And then solid midfielder. He's had a lot of experience at a variety of teams across the United States, Adam Akalinen. But there's the captain. He got the winner on the road to keep Oakland County FC undefeated and into the 3-point category, Captain Arce. The Cleveland State player, Mateo Correa, who's going to be coming in on the left. We're going to want to see a good performance from him today. Keith Larson, on again, off again, forward, but has been absolutely on this year with a trio of hat-tricks already. Timmy Alos, he's already put 2 in the back of the net this year, and he'll no doubt get more opportunities to find the back of the net today. And then the main man, 4 goals through 3 games, number 9, Andrew Juraxian, started his career in purple with a bang on opening night with a hat trick. Can't wait to see what this county side can do against a tough opponent in AFC Ann Arbor. We're going to pause a moment as we hear our national anthem, and we'll get our player to watch, and then we'll be in kickoff in just a few moments. Stick with us here. Royal Michigan band. We've seen him grow up over the last 3 years, and there is the whistle, and we are underway. Match day 4 of Oakland County FC's USL campaign. Here, the 10th season on the field, 5th year in USL 2. Best start to a USL 2 campaign, looking to extend the winning streak. There's Nick Wilson getting his first appearance in front of hometown fans. We've heard he's very good on the ball. Had a conversation with him in the preseason, very measured and very engaging interview there. He grew up on Long Island, I believe, Long Island, New Jersey, and came through the youth ranks there. Been to a couple different collegiate programs, been always at Loyola out in California on the ball. They're number 25, and he goes to his center back partner, Sheck. And he goes back to Rob Jelli, and really the only moments for the most part that County has been vulnerable is any kind of mistakes out of the back. So if you feel they play as solidly as they have so far, if you play mistake-free ball, the wins should come. But that's easier said than done, and lots of time on the clock. Right here in the second minute, County looking to drive towards the direction. Oakland County's supporter group, Element Elite, to the right-hand side of your picture, popping some purple smoke here at kickoff, and we're hoping that there's going to be a lot more purple smoke in the air as Andrew Jirakshian squares it to captain Colin Arce, spreads it all the way to the far side. Who's Moosh, who I said at the introductions has been so impressive here as he started his first 3 games for County. Keeping Alex Rosine out of the starting lineup as a top player, but Moosh El-Haznawi has been superb, and there he is on the ball. He receives from Alos. He rides a challenge, rides the second one, but gets bounced off the ball, and AFC Ann Arbor are able to get their foot on the ball really for the first time here in the opening moments.
Yeah, initial knockings of this contest, Rob. It's been a lot of County possession.
Almost a
turnover there. But County really begging or trying to get Ann Arbor out of their shell early on here. Playing with the ball along the back, and now we see Ann Arbor kind of doing the same, trying to open things up here early on. County has enjoyed majority of possession here at home, but still a team that likes to use their speed and space in behind to launch attacks. As a ball in deep here for Ann Arbor is trouble.
And on goal, pokes it to the side. Is he offside? No flag comes up, and it looks like the first goal conceded in open play for County. There's an inquisition at the back as the number 9 for AFC Ann Arbor was able to get in behind the County defense, poke it square, and then finish behind keeper Rob Jelli.
It's not going to get much easier than that for Ann Arbor. That's exactly what you don't want to see out of a new center back partnership here. New pairing, guys who have gotten minutes for County, but starting together for the first time, and I think seemed to be some miscommunication there. Rob just sort of left alone to play against 2 attacking forwards, and it was an easy slide pass over and a finish in for an early goal for Ann Arbor. County up against it.
So the first deficit of the season comes in match day 4, conceding within the first 4 minutes of the match. Didn't see who put the finishing touches on that, but that was really constructed by the number 8, Riyad Zitouni. Excuse me if that's an incorrect pronunciation, but a square ball that had a little bit of offsides to it, but no flag came from the linesman on the far side, and County will have to see if they can come back, face some adversity, battle through if they are to get their 4th win in a row, and they're going to have to deal with this down that right-hand channel. Mush gets barged into the back, no whistle coming. Ann Arbor have some numbers on the far side, cutting into the middle. Almost broken up by McAleenan, and that one should roll to Jelli and does. Here's quick pass out from Jelli. Some space here. That's Alos checking back to Del Gadice. McAleenan had to stretch for that a little bit, and that does eventually go back to goalkeeper Rob Jelli, who obviously, for clear reasons, was upset about conceding there, and Alos gives chase. He's on the back of the AFC Ann Arbor center back, who, cleverly enough, lets that roll into touch.
Obviously, no keeper's going to want to concede goals, but you understand it's going to happen. The frustration there, I think, was just how easy it was for Ann Arbor to put that ball in behind, and really no defenders tracking back to cover and bail Rob out of that tricky situation. Wanted the offside call, but flag stayed down, and Ann Arbor doing what they should, finishing the play. It's actually the first time this season that they've scored first. Their opener, a 3-0 loss to Midwest, and then their 2 wins the last 2 times out were come from behind efforts, so they are enjoying a lead for the first time.
So kind of a reverse of form here. County conceding their first goal from open play, and then AFC Ann Arbor getting the go-ahead goal for the first time, and that is number 8 with a right-footed attempt. It's Riyad Zitouni. I think the goal scorer may have been either number 19, Prince Aban, or number 12, Johan Hilan.
It sort of just happened in slow motion, and everybody was kind of looking around like, did this really just happen? Is he not offside? It sort of just unfolded, and everybody was left looking around. Atameo goes down here. That's not good. He was favoring that leg when the goal went in. You wonder if maybe he came up hobbled in that instance, and that contributed, but he's going to receive some treatment here and see if he's able to continue. It looks like he's pulling at the back of his right leg there.
Yeah, Shek Atameo, he's been one of the regular rotation. Hasn't started every game so far. He hails from Longwy, France, playing at Presbyterian College, and had a little bit of time as a youth in the Metz Academy, one of the bigger French teams. Spent plenty of time in League One, and he's going to have to step off the side of the field. Both teams taking an opportunity to take some coaching input as Steve Walker up into the huddle with the players on the far side. Looks like hydration here early, and with the artificial turf and the rubber dirt, it does get warmer. I mean, it's a pleasant mid-70s day, but when the sun's beaten down, there's no clouds in the sky here. We heard the song Mr. Blue Sky, and it was truly representative of the day we have. And, when that sun beats down, it's kind of a bit of a frying pan effect, and it looks like we are going to return to action with a goal kick from county keeper Rob Gelai. And gets it up to the halfway mark. A physical header down there over the top of Captain Colin Arce. Physical play from number 12, Helan. And getting in behind the county defense. That's a squared ball intercepted by Arce. Up towards Juraxian, who has it deflected away from him by a visiting player. I don't think I've seen this color on Ann Arbor before. It must be new to their repertoire.
Certainly new. Haven't seen them in these, what would you call it? Kind of a peach and cherry combo, sort of? Shades of red.
Voltish orange, perhaps, but
it's a nice look.
They tend to skew a little bit towards purple in the past, and I was hoping there wouldn't be any sort of color conflict. And we have nice, vibrant colors here on display here in USL 2 Great Lakes Division. County facing their first deficit of the year, conceding within the first 4 minutes. The county back line looking for an offside flag that didn't come, and they face a bit of an uphill battle, but plenty of action to come. Larson faces plenty of contact, but wins that in the middle of the park. Correa heads it back towards Larson, who chips it up ahead towards Juraxian, but that time he was more than a step or two offside, so the flag does come in that time, and we'll take this opportunity to thank Sabbath Coffee Roasters, one of our key sponsors here at Oakland County FC. Sabbath Coffee Roasters, renowned for their award-winning small batch specialty coffees that cater to both connoisseurs and casual drinkers alike. Philosophy, a cup for everyone, reflects the dedication to making exceptional coffee accessible to all. AFC Ann Arbor working their way out of the back after that offsides restart. Getting that early lead here in the fourth match day for both sides. Like I said at the top of the show, these teams split road wins last year, 3-0 on the road for County, but AFC Ann Arbor returned the favor with a 4-2 win here. And that's chipped and trying to get in behind Del Gadice. Nick Wilson misses that one. And it's a 3-on-2. Del Gadice does enough to bump the attacker there, and Rob Jelly got down to his right really well and smartly to save that and hold on to it. But Del Gadice did his utmost, but still a very dangerous shot on target there.
Rob made the save, but Rocco made the play, just like you mentioned, nudging the attacker off the ball just enough so that he couldn't do exactly what he wanted to.
Here's Alos looking for the run of Direction. Direction gets in behind, but slips after the contact right there in front of the linesman. It goes into touch, but it'll stay with the purple of County right in front of the Elmwood Elite section down at the lower right part, right by the concourse here, where tons of activities on an Oakland County match day. If you haven't been out here, you got face painters, vendors, food, bounce houses, and a couple other treats and games. Maybe some foot soccer. What is that called, where you play with your feet on the kind of the cage? The mini soccer. And this long throw comes from Del Gadice, headed down at the front post, but it comes back to Rocco. Scooped in, but that's not quite close enough to a purple shirt. Larson chases that down, but it'll stay with Ann Arbor. They got numbers here. Will they be aggressive? They are. They go long, looking for the run of number 11, Ian Lama, but not accurate enough to trouble the county keeper. And you think that the style of Ann Arbor has changed back in the day. With a couple years ago, they were a little bit more, crafty, or definitely a lot of overlapping runs and kind of more intricate passing patterns. But this team looks to be a little bit more direct.
For sure. At least the early going.
That clearance not good enough there, and it goes right back to Ann Arbor. It looked like County could turn it the other direction. That's an open player in the box in front of Wilson.
They've just got more energy right now, Rob. They are everywhere that they want to be, and County is a step behind, having to react.
Larson a little bit of space here, able to pick up his head. He plays it back to Del Gadice. Here's McAleenan, former Fort Wayne player. And he started his life out pretty solidly here wearing purple. A lot more senior players, a little bit older age average across this county lineup than in years past. Just a couple years ago, it seemed like every player was 18, 19 years old.
We do have a substitution here, Rob, as Atameo unable to continue.
That's a shame. That's an early loss here for captain, or for coach Steve Walker. Number 4, Sheck, is out. And number 23, Romeo Lumage, checks in. Or Lumai, excuse me.
23, Romeo Lumage checks in for County.
Amongst the local players here, Lumai.
He's been around the team, but I think this will be his real coming out party, and kind of pressed into action here. We'll see what Romeo's got for us.
Long throw. That's dangerous. Larson almost got his head on that. And are they saying that's a foul throw?
I think Larson called for the foul as he went up there. Maybe got too much contact.
But the referee directing her attention towards
interesting.
The touch line where that came in. I don't know.
I guess you're right.
Might have ruled a foul throw. And the players kind of adjusting to that understanding and kind of pressing up here as Draxian pushes the angle there. But that's a lot of space here for number 12 to work in if he can control it. And he gets on it and able to turn and poke it away. And here come Ann Arbor. They got some space in the middle of the field. Last home game here, there was periods of that first half where it was just basketball style, end to end. And curious if he might digress into that here too. But Alos blocks that away. Here's Diraxian, and he's battled off the ball here. Definitely AFC Ann Arbor winning the physical battle here in the opening 15 minutes of this one.
And they just seem to have more energy. They're quicker.
That first step,
onto
right?
The ball. It's partially a product of that early goal. Will certainly energize you and spur you on to continue putting in that hard work. But right now, it's a little laggy from County. Somebody's got to pick the boys up here, make a play, get a tackle in, do something to spark the team.
And that'll go against Draxian there. He was battling for that ball, but ruled to have gone through the back of the visiting Ann Arbor player. Here, a couple of vuvuzelas here in Royal Oak High School Stadium. It is World Cup night, and the first, 50 folks in the door got a vuvuzela, so hopefully we'll hear some victory vuvuzela toots. It doesn't sound too much different than the sound it makes all the other time, but hopefully we hear a roar from those for a goal for the purple. But it is 1-0 in favor of the visitors here early in the first half. Thank you for joining us here on Sports Engine Play. My name is Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatzke and the OCFC stream team putting things together here. And Mush Al-Haznawi put under some pressure there. He nods that away, turns to send it up the line, but it goes out of play there pretty deep. AFC Ann Arbor see what they can work up here in the attacking third from this throw-in in front of that 10-year anniversary banner on that far side. And that's poked away and out for a goal kick. The linesman rules in favor. That's a close call, and Ann Arbor player doesn't like it, but arguing isn't going to do any good. And that seems I've seen yellows given for that in the past. I'll say it. I've seen a card for less in the past.
Certainly. And we'll see here. County, again, early on, couple minutes, they really tried to invite Ann Arbor in and play out from the back. But since then, since that goal, really going more long and trying to get direction on it, that right there, kind of the first time that it worked where they were able to retain the ball. We'll see if it can work again here. But, yeah,
these long balls are being won by the Ann Arbor players pretty consistently. And Al-Haznawi battling there, and no advantage played. The whistle stops that play dead there. Looks like he was going to ride that challenge and pick his eyes up and look down the field, but Nick Wilson will get us back underway. Here's Lumai, the Bloomfield native, a good mix of local talent as well as foreign friends here on the international roster. We got, the home debutant Nick Wilson in from New York, but we got Dearborn, Michigan, Macomb, Michigan, Warren, Michigan, Sterling Heights, Commerce, Rochester Hills, Bloomfield. We also have Canadians. We have Frenchmen and a German on the lineup, so really good mix of top local talent here in Southeast Michigan mixed in with some foreign players and some from farther reaches across the United States. The coaching staff here together in full for the second year running. Coach Steve Walker assisted by Steve Arce, Mike Lupinick, and Mike Sheehy. And them in conjunction with President Dom Troy have put together a pretty thick roster who's been 3 out of 3 wins up to this point, but facing their biggest challenge yet. As there's a turnover in the middle of the park. Can Larson get there? He does. Can he find the pass? Unable to, but it might spring to Alos. McAleenan goes diagonally back to Larson. 4 shirts ahead of him. That return pass does get there. Combined well. Here's Larson. He goes around another and just out of the run of direction. And AFC Ann Arbor able to scramble that off to the side into touch for a county throw here deep, and that'll be Al-Haznawi to take. And looked like Larson was going to be able to combine down through that left channel, but I'm not sure if he was trying to knock it around the player and it was too heavy or if the pass just didn't quite have the right angle, but that was dispatched by Ann Arbor. That was the first time it really made the Ann Arbor defense sweat here, and we're about 20 minutes in. Long throw. Rocco's throw dangerous, but that gets into the hands of the towering Ann Arbor goalkeeper. Just noticed that he was about a head taller than everybody in the box, and that one, if number 19 would have chased that down, would have been offside Principon.
That more so in the mold of the long throws that we saw in the first game, Rob, from Rocco Del Giudice. Subsequent games, it hasn't been so much of a focus, but with things kind of drying up here in the opening stages, looking for a new way to attack. Ann Arbor on the ball here. Might be some trouble. Swings it outside.
Rocco faces him up, forces the ball backwards. Chipped pass out to the outside. Not controlled well enough there by the player coming on the right-hand side. That one looked like it bounced up into a hand. No whistle. Still with Ann Arbor. Probing here. Looking to kind of have a trick pass. Doesn't come off, and then some contact, and Lumai is eventually whistled, but playing advantage doesn't seem to be in the cards so far, as County looked to be trying to break out of that situation. There was a Ann Arbor player down after that challenge, and that would have maybe provided a little bit of space and opportunity for County to play with the advantage, but we're back underway again after the stoppage. That comes off the toe of Al-Haznawi. He has to spin and turn. His clearance attempt is knocked away. Arce bodied off the ball there. Ann Arbor come for more, putting the pressure on the hometown team. Great tackle there by McAleen, and he feeds Larson into some space. He's got Dirakshian and Alos to his right. He's charging hard. He's taking it on himself. Larson chops, loses it, stays on it, tries to find the late arriving Mateo Correa, but doesn't connect there.
Yeah, not enough options for him when he needed them, and by the time they arrived there, the Ann Arbor defense had swarmed on Larson and couldn't link up that pass the way that he wanted to after he did draw the defenders away. But that's another steal there from Larson. He's been a bright spot so far.
He's found himself in a couple of pockets, but the end product not coming to fruition just yet. Larson had a hat trick of assists on opening night, so no stranger to playmaking, but just needs those options ahead of him.
County looking better, looking more settled the last 5 or so minutes here. Ann Arbor, I think, you mentioned it, just the directness of their attack. They seem to be kind of swamping the midfield and outnumbering County right now, and that's really what's kind of propelled them forward for their opportunities.
They've definitely been winning those midfield battles for the long balls coming out from goalkeeper Rob Jelli, that's for sure. And that diagonal ball will get to Larson, who flicks it, and kind of ended up being a 50-50 ball for Dirakshian and taking on the number 4 defender, Ezra Amadi Amina. And there's some height and some size on this Ann Arbor side. And that number 22, Abel Ador, also with a large frame. And here's the goalkeeper. Speaking of towering bodies, Reese Moeller. I don't know if it's the all-gray monochromatic gear he's got on him, but he looks massive. And that's Romeo Lumai putting that over in conjunction with Rocco and them having a conversation. And Coach Steve Walker's back line, it was a new center back duo already, and then they had the early substitution as Shek Atameo went down with a leg injury of some sort after just a few moments, and we might have lost him. Might have been part of why the reaction to that opening goal play sequence,
I think so,
fell apart, because the reaction to that developing play that led to the opening goal of the game definitely didn't seem like a healthy step towards the ball.
And interesting, too, the reaction from Steve Walker to put Romeo Lamai in at center back when we do have Rocco here on the near side playing right back. We've seen plenty of him at center back in the first 3 games, so it must be a tactical consideration that he wants Rocco on the outside to match up with the speed that Ann Arbor presents. It does seem like they are choosing to attack around the outside, and it's It's always difficult to tell the exact formation that a team can play with, particularly as things switch in and out of possession, but
the opening graphic had Oakland County FC playing in a 4-2-3-1 formation with number 9, Andrew Direction, leading the way with Larson, Alos, and Correa behind him, holding mids of Captain Colin Arce and Adam McAleenan across the back today. Already mixed up, and it looks like we are taking a hydration break, but to update the center backs that we have in the game, it's Romeo Lumai alongside Nick Wilson.
I just think as we look at Ann Arbor here over the last handful of minutes, it seems like they've got more so 3 at the back and allowing another player to join in the midfield. And mentioned it a few minutes ago, it just seems like they're outnumbering County right now. They're the quickest to those second balls that are knocked down from goal kicks or as things bounce around. They're the ones that are seizing those loose ball opportunities and springing attacks forward.
And they're going to have to, the County playmakers are going to have to get a little bit more creative direction, not able to just outpace these center backs either.
Yeah.
And they're very, very physical, so they're going to have to come up with something more than, through balls and chasing things. And I don't think high balls are necessarily going to be the easiest things to come from in the opening 25 minutes. The defense has done well to contain the County forwards, Larson and Direction especially, to go through the starting lineup for the visitors. AFC Ann Arbor has Muller at the back, like I said, and then we'll go through. Number 22 is Abel Ador, number 19, Prince Aban, 13, Rodrigo Franco, 12, Johan Halan, 11, Ian Lama, number 10, Lucas Kuka, 8, Riyad Zutuni, who we believe was the goal scorer in the opening match about 3 or 4 minutes into the game, number 6, Leonardo Consoloni, number 5, Lucas Ma, and number 4, Ezra Amadi Amina. Looks like the hydration break coming to a close here, and the players coming back onto the field. Looking at scores around the grounds, we talked about at the top of the show, County in second only because Flint City Bucks put up a 7-0 result on the Kalamazoo FC last night. So both teams 3-0 at the top of the table. 3-goal difference. The difference at the top of the Great Lakes Division. We are underway again on the far side. Here's AFC Ann Arbor. They got the 1-0 lead, looking for more. Del Gadice able to get his toe in on that and break that attack up. Alos looking to go fast, looking to go direct. Rocco is up ahead and connect. Can he get around the center back? Unable to. The number 22, Abel Ador, has the pace and the frame to deal with that solution, or deal with that issue, rather, as Rocco came all the way back, or came all the way forward, rather, from that full back position. He's more than willing to join the attack if the situation requires it.
Yeah, he really forced the issue there, and I think a little warning shot for AFC Ann Arbor, who maybe didn't know how he does like to fly forward sometimes, Rocco, depending on, whether he be at right back or center back. He's certainly not shy.
Yeah, Del Gadice, he's got a weapon of a long throw. He's got definitely some passion to defend with his body, and the intelligence and the willingness to move with the ball and provide overlap and some combinations for his teammates. And his pass there blocked down by Lama.
So right now, County just not able to link things from defense to forwards. The midfielders are covered by the Ann Arbor mids, and going around the outside hasn't worked. We only just saw Timmy Alos on the ball for really the first time, able to use his speed.
And Lumai has to deal with this. Ann Arbor surrounded by 4 purple shirts, had to be careful there. Didn't want to concede a penalty. And Nick Wilson might have taken a finger to the eye there as he was able to poke that away, and it's going to be a Ann Arbor corner, but, he's wincing a little bit after that one.
We'll hope he'll be all right. But first corner here for Ann Arbor. We'll see what kind of set plays they have.
County will have to be stout here. Don't want to fall too behind here. Already their first deficit of the season headed away by Rocco at the front stick. Here's Correa, able to loop a clearance away for a moment, but Ann Arbor will be able to recollect themselves and put on more pressure. Half an hour in, it's been almost all in favor of the visitors.
Yeah, and that's quite a bit different from the first two games that we saw here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, where the protagonist really was County for a majority of both of those matches. But Ann Arbor's come in here today and said, hang on a second, we've got some quality too. And again, it's interesting because, without having actually watched those last two games, just looking at results and the timeline of how things happened, two come from behind victories, as I mentioned, the last two times out, but it was at Lansing last Saturday. They were down 1-0 and down to 10 men in the final 25 minutes, scored twice, including a stoppage time winner from Prince Aban.
And this is a dangerous situation there, and that cross is a bit too heavy, and that will not connect with the number 11 Ian Lama, but the crossfield ball to the right-hand side. Getting a little bit of joy there. Al has his hands full. Say that 3 times quickly. But County definitely need to adjust their approach. I've said in the past going long is favorable at this level, but County just haven't been able to win those 50-50s in the middle of the park. This finds a little bit of space there, does Larson, but his attempt to find Mateo Correa down that left wing just cut out easily there by Ann Arbor.
Yeah, just a little rush there. He knew exactly what he wanted to do.
He had space and time to do more.
Right, yeah.
Number 10, Lucas Kuka. He'll play it back to his center back teammate. Looks up, plays it forward this time, and sprays it wide. Plenty of time on the ball there in front of McAlena.
Rob, you touched on it a little bit, and I just want to expand on the point that Ann Arbor's movement in their passing is different.
It's definitely a different approach than we've seen in years past, but definitely have some power and strength here, and that's been seen here early, and that cross is dealt with by Lumai. There's a little bit of hesitancy there that we haven't seen from the County back line.
Yeah, it's almost like they are just timid and hesitant in a way that we really have not seen. Whether that's something unique, that Ann Arbor is presenting, or just some differences in the lineup.
We shall see how it plays out. 33 minutes played. Here come Ann Arbor once again. He got some space at the top of the box, poked away by Lumai. Right-footed curling effort by Lama. Tame in the end. Not sure if Rocco got a piece of that or just Lama didn't get a hold of it in full, but it's kind of becoming wave after wave of Ann Arbor chances.
Yeah, just letting them have too much of the ball and get too deep into their attacking third before you put a little pressure on them on the ball.
Here come County looking for an equalizer. Larson takes his space forward. He plays wide left. Al Haznawi plays it low towards Durakshian. But the Ann Arbor defense able to get a toe on it and force I think one of the first County corners. Last time we were here in Royal Oak, there was double-digit corner attempts, and we're well over half an hour in. I believe that's the first one.
I think you are correct, Rob, and it's going to be Captain Colin going over to take the in-swinger with his right foot here.
Captain Colin Arce got the winner midweek. He is Mitch Gatzke's player to watch here. What can he provide here? Draction got the end of it last time at home, and Draction gets his head on that one, but unable to put it on frame. It was a pretty difficult place and angle for him to get that on target, especially under the defensive pressure applied from behind.
I don't think people realize how tough headers are to come off. You know, it really is a miracle whenever there is a headed goal that comes off perfectly.
Even an easy header is not easy.
It's such a tough skill to get exactly right, and that's what you need to do. We've seen it from Draction before, and even that is a commendable effort to whip one in real fast on the near post there and have a forward who can flick it on with that sort of action to get it past the keeper and to the back post, you know, either for a goal or a little tap in for somebody crashing there. It's something that we've seen County use a number of times, and eventually you're hoping it's going to pay off.
AFC Ann Arbor's defense stout here in this first period of play here. USL 2 action. County looking to remain undefeated, but will have to come from behind here in order to do so. Wilson out to Moosh. Cuts inside, finds a little bit of space. Here's Direction, plays it back to Moosh. And here's Arce out wide. And then Correa able to gather that on the edge of the box. Feels a little bit of pressure. Second whack at it. Brings down Correa, but it looks like it's just going to be out into touch. No foul. Correa gets up, gets on the ball again. Goes baseline, chips it over one defender, but the second one gets to it. Arce bodies a player, heads it back, and this might be the first real moment of sustained pressure that the men of purple have put together. What can they get out of it? Down the left-hand side, here's Mush Al-Haznawi looking for options. It's a little bit static. He gets into the box. Chips it, goes to ground. Referee isn't interested, and it's going to go harmlessly for a goal kick. Good to see County get bodies forward, connect, get into a dangerous area, but still haven't threatened the goal of Reese Muller.
No, but that is much better. You mentioned it first, spell of sustained possession and combining in a couple of different ways that we haven't seen to spring themselves forward and at least get Ann Arbor thinking about defending. So far in the opening 38 almost minutes, they really haven't had to do much defending at all. Here's a turnover.
McAleenan steps in front of that errant clearance attempt, and here's Direction, gets a toe on it, but Muller with his first save of the game, and he used all of his towering frame to get to that one. Almost the equalizing attempt, but good to see the number 9, Andrew Direction, get that one goalward, and County starting to get a foothold here. Captain Colin Arce teeing up a consecutive corner kick. Direction runs to the front post, goes over his head, almost on the head of Nick Wilson. Looks like the AFC Ann Arbor defender put that one in behind, but that almost hit the head of big number 25 in from Loyola Marymount, making his home debut for County. Number 25 looks like he might be hungry here. Another corner. That one's very close to the near post. And that one, not for the memory books. Mustafa Al-Haznawi, he's been great, but that attempt, not one to savor. That one goes over the bar.
I want County to try to put a little pressure, especially, if they go short here.
Was that Musher Al-Haznawi that will put that one over? I don't want to assign anyone that shot in error, but those corners were dangerous. Arce putting it into dangerous places. Here's Direction, unable to put it under his spell. County almost turned the ball over, but they're going to have to deal with another wave of purple attacking, or orange attacking, as AFC Ann Arbor get in behind there, pokes it away from Jelai, and that trickles past the post out for a goal kick. But wow, a nervous moment at the back. It looked like the County center back was protecting it for Jelly to come out for it, but the AFC Ann Arbor player able to get his toe in. Dangerous stuff at the back from County.
It's the sort of thing that only gets better with time, but when you're out there playing with each other for the first time, it can be a little shaky in those moments because, AFC Ann Arbor snuck in there and nearly caught County napping again.
Yeah, these waves of orange attackers adding up. County had a little moment there, but you don't want Ann Arbor to get that second one, that's for sure. Alos brings it across to the center of the field, plays it wide to Al-Haznawi. Coming down the left-hand side, he's got a little bit of room. Just checks back, then cleverly pays it to Correa. Crosses it with his right foot, just over the head of Duraxian, and scooped away only as far as Captain Collin. On the left-hand side, what can County do? About 5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time in this first half of action. County conceded early. First goal from open play as Tim Alos takes the contact, hits the deck, and wins a County free kick in a very dangerous area. And as we get this free kick lined up, I want to remind you guys about Weiss Distilling, another key partner for Oakland County FC here in 2026. Weiss Distilling, located in Clawson, Michigan. Weiss Distilling brings the wow factor to Metro Detroit with their organic additive-free spirits. Look out for the best shot of the match. We're going to deem that's something we do in the stadium, but also something we label. And a free kick goal here could definitely go in the running for a Weiss shot of the match. And Weiss Distilling also providing an after-party place most weeks. I think we're doing something a little bit different, but also got a shout-out to the folks who went out to Stumblebum, the pre-match spot, up at Maple and Crooks, a whole match day. You can extend it farther. Here's Duraxian. Goes direct, and he stings the palms of Reese Moeller there. And not quite shot of the match, but something worth cheering for the County faithful.
Yeah, Moeller wouldn't have been too worried about that shot coming in, but a good effort from Duraxian. We know he has that in his bag. But much better here from County the last 5 minutes. They're forcing the issue and making Ann Arbor make mistakes, and that's kind of opened things up for them, much in the way that Ann Arbor has created their offense through putting a little pressure on County's back line. So it hasn't been attacking brilliance here today so much as some defensive miscues.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication or unsureness between Rocco and Lumai. Hopefully they can work through that with time. But here's Larson, gets by the Ann Arbor number 6. Can he pick a pass out? Unable to. Feels contact, no whistle. But Larson did have the time to pick out a pass. The two orange shirts were bearing down on him. He could have sprayed it wide perhaps, but
it's one of those, Rob, where Larson knows that the contact is coming, so he accepts it and goes down, thinking that it'll be enough for a foul. And the referee, seeing that Larson knew the contact was coming and took the foul, doesn't call it because it's one of those catch-22. It can go either way. And was it a foul? Maybe.
Captain Collins steals that ball back. Goes to Correa. He's got Larson on the outside. Right-footed strike. And there's the equalizer. Keith Larson draws us up 1-1 here on match day 4. Right before the break, County needed something, and there it is. Keith Larson, first of the season.
Just like that, County capitalized on a quick turn of possession. Ann Arbor defenders out of position. And some good movement, overlapping, forward attacking play. Easy finish for Larson. 1-1 just before halftime.
Your player to watch before we started this game was Captain Colin Arce. He stepped in front of that ball and started that attack, which eventually made its way to Correa, who unselfishly at the top of the box, he fed an overlapping Keith Larson, who tucked it away. 1-1 here in Royal Oak, Michigan. How about that? The purple smoke is flying here at the Purple Patch.
And it really is, Rob, just playing more in your attacking third and having those those weird bounces of the ball happen while you're moving forward as opposed to backward can really be the difference in the game. So far, it's resulted in both of our goals here.
1-1 as the battle in the midfield rages on. Rocco Del Giudice eventually is whistled there. There was a good battle, a little bit too handsy for the liking of the referee. We're going to see our first yellow. And the county players protesting it, and Rocco just getting stuck in there, you think. And that's a yellow card for Del Giudice, the first of the game, I believe.
So here's my thing, Rob. If it's not a foul when it first happens for a second or two and you allow them to continue the play and they're both being physical with each other, it can't then later be a yellow card because you decided it was enough that you wanted to call a foul. It doesn't automatically raise it to that level. Referee made the decision not to initially call it. Just a strange decision there. For the most part, though, a clean game. Both teams have been physical, but nothing untoward.
We're in the first half stoppage time, tied at 1 goal apiece. AFC Ann Arbor taking the early lead, and then County in about the 44th minute tying it up via this man, Keith Larson, and he's looking to feed direction. It gets to him. He's got lots of orange shirts around him. He gets around one, but the Ann Arbor defender able to do just enough to poke it away from the county leading scorer. And this is a dangerous moment, and Rob Jelli, the moment of the match for him so far, sliding out and winning that well. Way to keep that at 1 goal apiece, and that shows the threat of Ann Arbor. They could be in behind County in a flash, it seems.
And Rob is so good at the timing on those plays. Typically we see him come out to make saves with his hands.
And this is Ann Arbor on the top of the box, has a little bit of space. Arce comes to challenge, pushes it wide. Curling attempt headed away by Lumai and then looped away eventually by a county defender. Still with Ann Arbor. Injury time clicking away. And it goes into touch in front of the visiting bench. Here on County Match Days, like I said, you go to Stumblebum before. You can go downtown Clawson afterwards in the social district by Weiss Distillery. But here at the match, we got bounce houses, we got activities, we got games, we got vending, all sorts more. The best match day presentation and match day experience here in Metro Detroit. And that one sails over the head of the Ann Arbor player. 1 goal apiece. And we might be lucky enough to be joined by a halftime guest. So we're going to run a couple ads, maybe a couple of videos. And we're fortunate enough, might be joined by ownership or staff member here at halftime. So keep tuned in for that. But we will guarantee the second half of action here from Royal Oak, Michigan. Great Lakes action. More defending to be done before the break. Top of the box, left-footed strike blocked down by Lumai. Right-footed strike blocked again, back-to-back uses of the body for the number 23 in purple. And a ripped pass is controlled well there by the Ann Arbor attacker. And Nick Wilson does enough to disrupt that runner and let Rob Jelli get to that one. There was a moment of uncertainty in a moment like that earlier in the half, but able to take care of it that time. Definitely some signs of showing that there was a new center back duo. We lost Shek Atameo in the first 5 minutes of the game. So the halftime talk will definitely do the back line some favors, as no whistle on that contact in the middle of the park here. We're getting pretty deep into stoppage time. We did have a refreshment break, a couple of goals, but here come Ann Arbor down the left-hand side. Rocco faces him up, gets his leg in the way. Another block there by a county defender. Still with Ann Arbor. Lots of orange shirts around the ball, as our purple do enough to send it back down to the far-hand side. Trying to go around Al-Haznawi. Actually, around, that was Correa, excuse me, with that tackle. Good defense by the left-sided attacking player. But Ann Arbor will have a throw-in here in the attacking third.
Sometimes it's just slowing it down, Rob. Yeah, you give them the throw deep in your zone, but you let the defenders set everything up, and boom, there you go. Now it's yours.
Good patient defense, as you say. If you're just joining us in these closing moments of the first half, my name is Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatzke and OCFC Stream Team here. Third home game of the season, but it's the first of a doubleheader. The OCFC has a second team for the first time in a number of years here in the 10th year of club history, and it's the home debut of the Midwest Premier League side. The two team playing at 6:30 tonight, which you can catch on the OCFC YouTube later on this evening after this USL 2 game concludes. But we go further into first half injury time. The ball has seemingly been with AFC Ann Arbor for minutes on end, and there goes the halftime whistle. Center referee gets us to the break. AFC Ann Arbor scored first. First goal from open play. County have conceded. First time trailing in the season, but it was Keith Larson who tied it up moments before the end of the first half. I believe it's the 44th minute. Keith Larson with his right foot to equalize for County. Stick with us. We'll be back for some halftime entertainment and the second 45 minutes. Stay with us here in Royal Oak. 44th minute. We are underway. Second half of action is now AFC Ann Arbor in the orange, going from left to right here, and the purple on your screen, going from right to left here in this second 45 minutes. Keith Larson assisted by Mateo Correa on a play started by a interception by Captain Colin Arce. He's played every minute of the season so far. He got the game-winning goal on the road in Lansing on Thursday, and he got his team a platform to equalize there right before the break. So Ann Arbor strongest and found most of the ball, most of the first half, but how can County counter here in this second period of play? My name's Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatzke and the OCFC Stream Team. What are your thoughts here going into this second half?
Well, I'm hoping that the second half will be more like the end of that first half than the beginning.
Yeah, no doubt.
County started off sluggish, and it resulted in that opening goal. An injury at the back to Chick Mayo. We'll hope that he's all right, but seemed to be a right hamstring situation that removed him from the game pretty early on. So Romeo Lumai is really getting his first major minutes for the club here. And that's kind of jumbled some things around, but toward the tail end of that first half, Rob, everything settled down. County got back to playing their game.
And that's Lumai. Actually, Nick Wilson putting some body into the AFC Ann Arbor attacker here early in the second half. And County will have to defend. They've been stout defensively in this opening quarter of this short 12-game season. It's in the first half of the season, but it is a sprint to the playoff positions. Only 1.5 playoff positions available to the 6 teams in the Great Lakes Division. So with 12 opportunities to gather points, every single game is a must-win. County looking to come from behind and secure the 4th win in a row, but they're going to have to defend this Ann Arbor free kick first. Right footer, Wilson, who conceded the free kick, the one who heads it away, looped back towards the penalty area. McAleenan heads it. Correa prods it along near direction, close enough so he can put it to Larson. Larson loops it ahead to Alos. Very nice, accurate ball there. Alos tips it around the goal, around the defender, around the second defender, squares it, just not enough. Not quite the right angle and power position to get to the late run towards the penalty spot by Keith Larson. Larson already got on the end of a Correa pass earlier on, but down the right-hand side, County got their first little penetration into the Ann Arbor box, and Ann Arbor able to come back the other end inside of Wilson onto the right foot, blocked away by Del Gudice, and that's not the first time I've said that today or this season. Here's Duraxian to Larson. A little bit of space here, but plenty of orange shirts ahead of him. Will they go direct or with patience? Correa streaming down the left-hand side. Duraxian calls for it in the middle. Larson holds, turns, surveys, finds McAleenan. Might have some space here. Here's Del Gadice in front of the visiting bench. Arce to support. And it does come all the way back to Lumai, who came in as a substitute center back in the opening moments of the game after the loss of Sheck to a leg injury. That one's towards Correa, who's turned. And he tried to cut it back to Moosh, and it finds its way to Durakshian and stays with Durakshian. Left-footed strike, low, hard, and in the back of the net. His 5th goal in 4 games. Andrew Durakshian does it again.
Rob, sometimes it is a special player making something out of nothing. And a perfect example of that there, as Durakshian just found himself on the ball, worked his way past one defender, opened up, found the little bit of space that he needed to let a shot away, and maybe it wasn't his best, but it was enough. And sometimes just have a go and see what happens. Andrew Durakshian showing you why.
Yeah, that fight on the edge of the box to stay with it. It could have stuck under his feet, and it could have gotten poked away, but Durakshian gets it out from his feet, gets enough on it, hard enough to get past the on-stretched arm of Reese Moeller, but it does hit the back of the net, and County come from behind 2-1 here in the second half.
Energy has played such a large role in today's game here. I really think all 3 goals you can just chalk up to the other team being more energetic and forcing the issue. The amount of space and time that Larson had on the ball as he worked it into the attacking third just let you know that Ann Arbor was content to sit off here in the early moments, and they're going to have to shift back into drive to get things back level as they find themselves now down 2-1.
Yeah, for large parts of that first half, AFC Ann Arbor was first to all the 50-50s. They were definitely winning everything in the air in the middle of the park. County had to just start to play a little bit more smaller ball, not able to go long. And then some grit and determination from the County number 9, able to set himself and unleash that shot. And sometimes that kind of like angled contact can kind of disguise the angle, and that was enough to get past the towering visiting goalkeeper. But Durakshian there whistled for the foul, trying to be on that front foot, trying to win the ball back again at the halfway line.
That's true, Rob. Sometimes, on occasion, it can be advantageous to not get away your best shot because the keeper's always going to assume, hey, this is going to be venomous. He's going to rip it as hard as he can. Sometimes when you throw that change up, they're not ready for it. I think Mueller would have gotten a hand to that, but it just sort of squeaked past him and into the bottom corner.
We received a note in halftime that the opening goal of the game from AFC Ann Arbor was from Johan Halan, the number 12 for Ann Arbor. He opened the scoring early, but it's been 2 County goals since then. That leads us to this situation. Lumai finds Correa. Alhazwi got it to Durakshian, and it finds its way back to Correa. Dow's Durakshian back to Correa. Alos is in the middle. Correa looks for him, and it's just beyond the stride of the number 7, who's already scored 2 goals this season. But it's with Larson. Rocco. He turns back. Finds McAleenan. Composed buildup. Looking for Correa! It's in the back of the net. There it is. County have turned this right around. Mateo Correa makes it 3-1 in favor of the men in purple.
What a beautiful finish. What a beautiful ball. County feeling themselves there. That was pretty.
That ball just hung in the air before it hit the side netting behind the visiting goalkeeper, Reese Moeller, but what a ball there to find Correa. And just beyond the 53-minute mark, it is 3-1 in favor of the hosts. Steve Walker's team saw the adversity, went behind, and turned it right around and got themselves a cushion.
Yeah, quick turnaround for sure. And the reversal of fortune here coming out of the halftime break suggests that head coach Steve Walker had a couple of talking points to share with the boys during the break. And those words of wisdom have worked pretty well. Mateo now a goal in addition to the assist.
Yeah, good point there. He was very unselfish at the top of the box, fed it wide to Larson for that first goal, that equalizing goal in the waning moments of the first half. And County don't want to let Ann Arbor back into this one via any mistake of their own. Ann Arbor have a man wide here at the back stick. Going to have to chase that one down, poke back. Ann Arbor looking to have a say, looking for a reply. Can County deal with the reply? This one they do. Here's Alos. Diraction and Larson streaming ahead. Can he go across the field? He does, and here's Larson. One-on-one. Alos, left footer, and saved by the midriff. Tried to go 5-hole. Made an amazing diagonal run. Found well by Larson, but Moeller able to sit down and block that one.
County are feeling themselves now, and it's been this second half where they've gotten the ball in midfield, turned and dribbled their way into the attacking third, whereas the first half it was a lot of long balls, disjointed play, and not able to link things together, and now it's a complete 180.
Diagonal ball. Looking for the run of number 5, but Nick Wilson, his home debut. The first few moments a little bit shaky perhaps, but County starting to feel better about themselves after hitting the back of the net a few times. After an early substitution, it's pretty difficult after already having a new center back duo. But here's Ann Arbor looking to cross it. Short pass, poked center, and Lumai, the substitute center back, got his toe in the way of that centering ball, but the ball remains with the visitors. Sprayed all the way across. All 11 County players behind the ball here now. Space in front of the back four. McAleenan chips that away towards Diraction, who feels contact from behind him. Doesn't go down, so he doesn't get the foul. Out wide, Rocco closing down the space, pushes him wide. Gets some great help there by Lumai. Both teams petitioning for it. Referee looked like she changed her decision. First pointed to the corner and then to the goal kick spot. So it will go back to Rob Jelli. And look, for a moment, Ann Arbor was going to try to mount some pressure off of a set piece after that. That would have been a moment to get a little bit nervy, but that is Correa, the goal scorer of the third tally for County, getting stretched out there. Hopefully that's just a cramping type situation rather than anything more. And it looks like the players are going to take this moment to go to coach, maybe get a little bit of water. It is a mild, sunny day here. Lots of blue sky here in Royal Oak, Michigan, and suburban Detroit, and players pouring some cold drink on their head and on their feet as the surface can get a little toasty in the sun. It's only mid-70s, but the sun does beat down on these surfaces. And it looks like we're going to get back underway. I don't know if that was the official hydration break. We might get that later on. Direction gets it back to Rocco Del Giudice, who takes contact there, and this time gets the whistle. Correa still on the field, so looks like that might have been a mild cramping situation for the number 16. And who was it that got the assist to Correa on that one? Was that El Haznawi? Was that Rocco? That was such an excellent feed, a looping ball. He was open on the back stick and got enough touch to get in the far corner. And Del Giudice hits the deck again hard. No whistle that time. Definitely not shy about throwing his body around. Is the Italian right back.
Yeah, he's hit the turf a number of times, and that's just
not flopping by throwing his body in the mix.
The intensity that he plays with. There's a determination to stick his body in there whenever necessary.
Captain Con Arce whistled for the foul there. No card given as he came in there pretty honestly, and the Ann Arbor player went over. And that one's going to go over the head of Rocco. Ann Arbor player keeps it in on the far touchline. Some quality on that pass there. Stays with Ann Arbor. What can they cook up here? They've seen their 1-0 lead disappear, and that ball came up and deflected into the county number 10, but no whistle there despite plenty of shouts from the visiting players. In the opening moments, for probably the first 30 minutes of this game, Ann Arbor was winning all the 50-50s and definitely everything in the air that was being sent long. But County have readjusted and playing along the floor, and a lot more overlapping runs and combinations have found that they definitely got more than a foothold into this game after kind of tweaking their approach.
Yeah, it was a shortening of the distance between defense and attack. And you see it here, the packed midfield, obviously without the ball, but that really helped spring attacks forward when they did manage to turn possession over. And that's exactly what created the first goal.
Headed away by the County defense, scooped away by Correa in the direction of Duraxian. Duraxian battles once again. He's definitely taken plenty of physical contact and dished it out as well. The County number 9, not super tall, but definitely a stout and imposing figure. When you see him, along with his County teammates, signing autographs on the field after each game, he definitely has a presence to him and a physicality, a broadness to him, and he's definitely not hesitant to throw in the body to kind of square up and win challenges. And is that Correa on the deck again?
I think Mateo's race is run here. They're going to need a sub as Rob gives the signal over to the bench. We'll see who's going to come in here, but if I had to guess, it's going to be Braden Stefanovic.
The Canadian sensation looking for his first goal of the season. Correa getting a goal and an assist in his 60-plus minutes. It's a shame to see him go off after kind of having a breakout moment. But with one thing that leads to another, an opportunity for the Western Michigan Bronco, Braden Stefanovic, to get his name on the sheet. Checking in here, 62nd minute, wearing the number 11. So hopefully Correa just done for the day and not for any extended period of time. And he did so well to hit the back of the net to get County's third here. And we'll see how County readjusts, if they need to retool their approach at all. But looks like
I think
he's on the right-hand side. Alos looks to have come to the left.
Yeah, the beauty of that three-man rotation for the two spots is the flexibility that all of them provide. So they're going to have spots that they prefer to play, off the left onto their right foot or on the right using the outside. But it's not like any of them can't play on the other side. So what you're going to see here is Alos come over to the near side on the left, and Braden will take up that spot on the right wing, far side.
Arce does well to win that over a taller midfielder. Duraxian comes in there, makes contact, is whistled here, but Duraxian definitely willing to go to the battles.
This second half has been much more stop-start than the first was. A lot of minor whistles, small fouls coming together.
Here's Ann Arbor. Their pass hits off our center referee today. We're into our second half of our first of a doubleheader. County match days are already filled with fun. You can extend your day at the match well beyond before and after the game. Stumble Rum Brewery, the official brewery sponsor of Oakland County FC, the pre-match spot up in Troy, up at Maple and Crooks, where supporters can gather for brewskis before the game. And then plenty of vending and attraction here at Royal Oak High School Stadium for match goers. And at the end of each match, the county players sign autographs and take pictures with everyone. Will ask for them down on the field, and then typically after party is at Weiss Distillery in the social district in downtown Clawson. But today there is a doubleheader, the home opening for the return of OCFC 2. This iteration of the two team back for the first time in many years, playing in the Midwest Premier League. They've started their Midwest Premier League campaign 2-0. They're going to be in front of the hometown fans for the first time tonight, kicking off at 6:30, and that'll be streamed on the Oakland County FC YouTube channel. Great league, Midwest Premier League, great place for the younger Oakland County FC players to get some very competitive game time. But we got about 25 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this USL 2 Great Lakes Division tilt between visiting AFC Ann Arbor and Oakland County FC. Ann Arbor got out front. They were the opening scorers in this game in the early moments. It was the number 12, Johan Halan for Ann Arbor, that put County on the back foot at a deficit for the first time this season. First goal from open play that County would concede. But County equalized before the half, and 2 second-half goals get us to the 3-1 scoreline as Captain Arce steps in front of that really well. I feel like his timing and his radar to be in the right place at the right time gets stronger each and every game.
Yeah, so much of his skill set is being in the right spot at the right time, that positional awareness, seeing play develop in front of him, but also having eyes in the back of his head to understand the movement that other players are making around him.
McAleenan closes down the Ann Arbor player on the ball. Ann Arbor plays it back to their center back, who looks to take his space, gets around Larson, gets around McAleenan. Stevanovic tries to get a body on him, and it trickles away, and Al Hasnaoui able to put it out for a throw, put it into touch for a very deep throw-in in the defensive third for County, and we're going to see an AFC Ann Arbor substitution. Looks like number 10, Lucas Kuka, is the one to come out.
Yes, indeed.
And when we see the back of the shirt of the entering player, we'll be sure to shout that out. But County have to defend this throw-in here. Plenty of shirts forward for the visitors. Number 12 tried to go baseline, the goal scorer Halan, but rolls out of play for a Rob Jelai goal kick. And I'll take this moment to shout out another OCFC sponsor, the Miners Den Jewelers, your local family jeweler since 1971, just a couple blocks away from 13 in Rochester Road, specializing in diamonds, bridal jewelry repair, custom design, and much more. Stop in today and look out for the Miners Den Bling Fling here in the stadium in the 70th minute. If you happen to come, try to get your hands on some of the bling that is flung.
It's coming up, Rob, and I might have to step out here in just a minute.
Yeah, you need to get your lady a thing, right?
I need some bling.
Bling Blau. Here comes AFC Ann Arbor. Right-footed swing from number 12. Johan Halan is blocked away there. Mush El Hasnaoui. More defending to do for County.
Yeah.
Ann Arbor looking to be patient, spreading it around. Left-footed strike right into the hands of veteran goalkeeper Rob Jelai.
We are settling into that period of the game where Ann Arbor's going to have a lot of the ball and look to try to claw back into this game, and County's just got to see this one out, make it low event from here on out. Don't do anything crazy, just keep control. Don't let the pace of the game escalate. Certainly capable of playing fast, but with a 3-1 lead, there's really no need to accelerate things. Just hover over the break and escort this one across the 90-minute mark.
I highlighted some of the things to do before and after the game, but I skipped right over one of the vendors. I got a chance to get my hands on one of these Crave nutrition drinks. Someone was kind enough to bring that up to the booth. We're all sipping on some delicious Crave nutrition beverage. All sorts of colors amongst our stream team up here, but delicious stuff amongst the wonderful offerings from the vendors. Tanya's Pizza, too. That was pretty delicious. Thank you for bringing that up for me, Mitch. As I was talking to President Dom Troyer, if you'd like an insight into county a little bit. President Dom Troyer, fresh off the plane back from the TST tournament, the $1 Million tournament down in Cary, North Carolina. And things didn't go exactly
we'll just
to
say
his
they
plan.
had fun. It was a good experience.
They had a good time. They got
they
got their tans on, but he came back to a pair of winning teams here in the warm confines, the purple patch of Oakland County. And as it looks like we're taking our hydration break now, I'll give a shout out to another one of our fantastic sponsors here at Oakland County. They're based in Royal Oak, Michigan. The Bocani Group is a trusted team of over 20 dedicated real estate professionals with deep roots in southeastern Michigan. Whether you're selling your home for top dollar or buying and need expert guidance, Bocani's unmatched local expertise ensure you're in best hands. And I can't do an ad break without shouting out Diversified Members Credit Union, the title sponsor of Oakland County FC for many years. One of the most loyal and ardent supporters of what Oakland County FC is doing. DMCU is your local credit union. Upgrade your life from kitchens, weddings, vacations, and more. Will help make it real. Visit the DMCU tent if you're here on a match day. If you're there at home watching, go to dmcu.com for more information. While we're still at a break, you want to rewind and give us kind of our scoring timeline here today, Mitch?
Yeah, just a little game recap here. Things started off early. Johan Helan scoring for the visitors just 3 minutes in. A little bit of a miscommunication, maybe an injury for Sheikh Atameo that contributed there, but Ann Arbor would continue to be really on the front foot for the opening half hour, but things shifted as we closed out that first half. County expressing themselves a bit more. It was Keith Larson who leveled things up just before the break, and then a fast start to the second half saw Andrew Durakshian finish coolly in the 50th minute, and then just 4 minutes later, Mateo Correa in the 53rd minute to make it 3-1 County here as we stand just across the 71st, almost the 72nd minute mark here.
Yeah, first half filled with adversity for Coach Steve Walker's men, and they've come back with a plum to get us to 3-1 with just under 20 minutes plus stoppage time here to go, looking to extend the winning streak to 4 here in the USL2 in Oakland County's 10th season on the field, bleeding purple here in southeast Michigan. It's World Cup theme day here at the park. It's a doubleheader, like I said, and plenty of folks got their hands on some purple vuvuzelas today. Haven't heard too many of them. I mean, there's a mixed reception to the sound of a vuvuzela, but definitely able to make some noise, and it definitely got loud. We definitely saw some purple smoke after County had 2 quick goals to start this second half.
I think the vuvuzela is the most polarizing fan
noisemaker
instrument of them all.
Yes, indeed it is. And Rob Jelli teasingly, slowly picks up the ball in front of the AFC Ann Arbor forward. And here's Nick Wilson. What can he do with his pass? He looks for the run of Larson. Gets it on his foot. Larson flicks it with his right boot. Headed away from Durakshian by the number 22 in orange, Abel Ador. He's been very solid for much of this game. He's done a lot to block out Andrew Durakshian, but not quite enough to prevent Durakshian from getting his 5th of the year. Here's Alos, takes the overlapping run from Moosh. Moosh gets in behind, squares it, but supporting defender for the visitors able to put that behind for, I believe, the first second half corner for County. And Captain Colin Arce has really put these into dangerous areas this season and today especially.
Yeah, we saw the near post attempt with the flicked header to Duraction. We've seen some back post
Nick
movement.
Wilson got close, too.
Yep. He certainly provides some height in there and a big target.
What can Arce serve up here? Sends it. Back post this time. Alos tries to get it back in the mix. I think that was Lojai. Excuse me. But County, Nick Wilson able to break that up. Looked like Ann Arbor had eyes for a breakaway, but not this time. Al-Haznawi tried to get through.
I heard that up here. That was solid contact on his foot.
Al-Haznawi's had a funny relationship. He's gone back and forth between 12 and 13 on his back this season. And, yeah, that was definitely some heavy contact there. I don't know. Did the referee didn't dispatch any colored cards? I don't believe
I
there.
haven't seen a card. It didn't need to be a card, but it was just a heavy challenge.
Robust challenge.
I would be surprised at a shot on target here. I think RC is going to float one in, see if they can knock down a header and maybe get a scramble chance there around the penalty spot or around the 6-yard box.
Duraction and Alos, both very dangerous in the box. Headed on Duraction! What a save from Muller! It looked like Duraction was going to get his 6th of the season, second today, but the fingertips of Muller puts it wide.
This guy with the head. Because Arce didn't blast that in.
No, by no means.
Duraction put a lot of that power on that header himself and just
best save of the game from the visiting goalkeeper.
It really was. It was just enough for Muller.
Stevanovic looked across that with his left foot and is blocked away by the number 14. I think that was a sub that came in earlier in the game. Sandru Rabar Ivoni, into the game, blocking that for another County corner. We hear the County corner chance from the Elmwood Elite. Back post again, over the head of everyone. Romeo Lumai, the closest to that one, but probably the first missed opportunity there from the corner.
He overcooked that one, but just taking those two corners alone ran a minute and a half off the clock. So anytime you're that deep in your opponent's territory with a 2-goal lead, you'll take it. County, again, looking to put a professional finish and a bow on this, what would be a great come-from-behind win.
13 minutes plus stoppage time to play here in Royal Oak, Michigan. 20 minutes to the north of the city of Detroit. It's a beautiful mid-70s sunshine Sunday.
It's a Chamber of Commerce day.
No way. Chamber of Commerce?
It's the type of day that the Chamber of Commerce
loves
to
gotcha.
tell you about. Look how nice our
Put this in the
area
brochure?
is. Yeah, exactly.
In the shadow of Quickstead Park, there is a timeless adventure and battle on the field with the men in purple of County. Take on those visitors from those other team that tried to claim Oak as theirs.
Great job from Romeo there coming across to break that up. Strong play. He's done well since coming in, and it's always tough. Anytime you have a substitution at center back, it's tough. But coming off an injury with an already new pairing.
Yeah, there's a new pairing and then a substitute just a few minutes in, and there was a little bit of communication that had to happen, but
it's just a lot more variables at the back than you'd really like, and Romeo's done a great job today filling in.
Alos putting pressure on the Ann Arbor player, but Ann Arbor looked to attack. Great step there by the aforementioned Lumai. Here comes Captain Colin. He's got Duraction to his left. Alos trailing him to his right. Larson in the middle. Stevanovic on the far side. It skips off of his right boot, but he keeps it in. Turns the defender, puts him on his boot. And left-footed cross, not close to one of his teammates. He did the job of getting The ball in play. Did Stevanovic. He got the defender to slip, but his final ball not on the money that time for Stevanovic.
Yeah, really the first time we've seen him get on the ball, and not a bad cross, just no teammates in the area.
That was the location that Correa was camping in when he was able to score County's third. And as the ball, there's a whistle there right in front of the County bench, and looks like there's a decent amount of activity. One or two players popping up off the bench there on the far side, and there's a couple new players for their first time on the squad that I have my suspicions. It could be Evan Landstrom and Niam Robinson may be joining us for their County debuts. Here's Ann Arbor on the top of the box. Blocked away. Durakshian puts it into the path of Alos, who can't quite corral it. That one goes past Arce, and Ann Arbor go down into the corner. And Al-Haznawi out there covered a lot of ground and didn't let Ann Arbor player, the attacker, pick up his head and put it into a dangerous area, and did enough to even win the ball back. In the touch for a County throw-in. And I think we're in for a double substitution. Either at this break, it'll have to be the next one. Durakshian gets beaten to that header. Ball remains with the visitors, who are down 2 goals with 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. County looking to get 12 points out of 12, but they'll have to defend this. And that right-footed strike sails well above Rob Jelai's goal, and it might actually be a triple substitution. So we are going to get our binoculars out and see who all's
down
involved.
Here on the near side as the referee comes over to talk to him.
And he's up on his feet. Oh, no. He is hobbling.
Yeah,
and he is recovered. I mean, the opening night for OCFC was his first game back from a significant injury. And we really hope that is not a significant issue there, as Durakshian comes off on the near side and 3 new players come into the fold. One of them we've seen before, Maurice Muller, and then we have the aforementioned Evan Landstrom and Niam Robinson making their debuts. Going to get 10 minutes or so. Niam Robinson, the Detroit native, checking in. Evan Landstrom, Lamphere High School grad, headed off to Wisconsin Green Bay in the fall. It's going to be a freshman, so a youngster there, rocking the number 20. Robinson, the 21, and then the big, tall German, number 22, onto the field. They have to defend a corner, Duke County. Whole new set of players here as well. They got to get organized quick. It's going to be a right-footed delivery from that far corner. That one's high. July gets a piece of it and must have skipped off of an Ann Arbor head because it is a goal kick. But Rob is on his back holding his head there, holding his head or his shoulder. And that is a unfortunate pair of moments. I'm not sure if anyone is tracking the progress of Durakshian, if he's made it back to the bench or not yet, or if he went straight into the locker room. And Rob's up on his feet, the County goalkeeper. Definitely felt that one. He didn't get there enough time to grab it or get a solid punch away, but he did enough to interfere with the Ann Arbor player getting in on that corner distribution at the back stick.
He jumped up to make a play on the ball, and I think was not aware that there was an Ann Arbor player right there, so he kind of ran into him.
So we have a complete new front four to County. We have Muller in the Larson spot. We have Stevanovic, who checked in a little while ago. Leading the way is the number 21. I think that's Niam Robinson, and then number 20, Landstrom on the left. So a whole new batch of players here for County. Lots of substitutions here from Steve Walker. Interested to see what these new players can bring. And Rocco Del Giudice to take this free kick here deep, going to go long. First half, County couldn't win any balls like this. Stevanovic wins that one. And Landstrom looking to turn his player there in his first opportunity to get on the ball. And I think he was into touch in favor of County. No rushing from the men in purple now as we get into the last 6+ minutes with a 2-goal lead, and that floated ball doesn't get all the way to Robinson.
Kudos to head coach Steve Walker for getting these newer guys into a game like this where you think it's pretty much under control, home game, not a whole lot of energy, not a whole lot of risk here. Let's see this one across the finish line and get some new guys some minutes so that they, can dip their toe into this level and get a little bit of familiarity with each other, get comfortable in case they're needed later on.
Lumai going for the home run ball, looking for the run of Landstrom.
A hot day, too. You mentioned it's not too hot out, for us, but on that pitch, it is a lot tougher with the rubber pellets underneath, the heat that it brings, and Injured Direction certainly doesn't need to be playing a full 90 minutes in a game like this, and you see the worries. I think he's going to be all right. It looked like he was moving around just fine off the field once he was taken out, but those are always the concerns.
Rocco Del Giudice stepped into the middle of the park, and he's got Robinson on the left. The new sub on his debut tries to get on his right, poked away there. For a moment, it looked like he was going to have that open up onto his right. The young number 21 Robinson headed off to Howard University in the fall. And here comes Ann Arbor. They scored early. They were probably the better team through the first half an hour, but it's been all County since Keith Larson tied it up in the final few moments of the first half. Here's Stevanovic, got in the way of that one, looking to go fast, looking to go direct. He's got Robinson inside of him, left-footed strike, and that is the back of the net. The Canadian sensation strikes again, and that's his first this season. 4-1 Oakland County Football Club. The direct play worked, and Stevanovic found that back of the net.
We've seen it from him before. That's what he likes to do, run right at defenders, make them make a decision, and he cuts back in onto his left foot and has a go. I think that one might have caught a little piece of a defender on the way by. The dive from Mueller looked like suggested maybe there was some extra English on it, but that doesn't really matter. Stefanovic makes no mistake, puts this one on ice. 4-1 County.
These teams split the season series in 2025. Both teams got wins on the road. It appears that trend will be bucked here in Royal Oak, Michigan. 4-1 the scoreline. County seeing the adversity and blowing right by it, bringing it back from a goal down, and the referee, at least consistent, not believing in playing the advantage. County had about a 3-on-2 situation cooking up, and we're moving forward with a flotilla of purple players, but whistled back.
Well, the initial signal was advantage, and then the ultimate decision was to blow it dead. Not sure if that was, well, it couldn't have been because of a head injury thing. His player that went down got no treatment for it, but
I think someone on the county bench receiving a yellow card for their dissent or displeasure vocalized following that whistle to bring it back. But County play on. 4-1 the scoreline after going down a goal early. A lot of space for McAleenan. Unselfishly, he tried to play it in, but it stays with County. Stevanovic plays it wide. Back to Stevanovic. Left-footed strike. That's a low worm burner, and that won't bother towering Reese Mueller that time. But he did a few moments ago. Stevanovic getting that fourth of the day for County in what has turned out to be A memorable afternoon for matchgoers here. The first of 2 games, actually, for those sticking around here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. We treated to the home opener for Oakland County FC 2 in the Midwest Premier League as they take on the Michigan Development Academy in their 3rd game of the season. You can catch that on the Oakland County FC YouTube channel. Kickoff at 6:30. We got about a minute or so plus stoppage time here in this USL Great Lakes Division tilt. My name's Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatzke. It's probably about time to mention the Weiss Distillery shot of the match. What would you pick out of this for the shot of the match? Some premium stuff from Weiss. And we've had 4 goals and other things of note, but here comes Robinson. County looking for more. That's a curling ball that's going to reach Stevanovic as Mitch thinks about the shot of the game. Stevanovic looks for another and taken care of eventually by the AFC Ann Arbor defenders.
I'm going to go with Correa's goal just because the finish was so beautiful at the back stick here on the near side as he just cradled it in.
Yeah, he was floated an absolute peach of a ball from right to left, and no one followed him, and he was able to get that touch that looped past the goalkeeper into the side panel of the net. And Lumai brings the ball forward. He's got one teammate by him who wandered into an offside position, and that's going to get broken up. A real counterattack led by a defender on that opportunity.
Romeo didn't really know what to do in that situation. Probably not something he does too often.
So, yeah, Mateo Correa, hopefully he is okay. 2 of the goal scorers actually getting subbed out today with a little bit of a hobble. So, hopefully those are not long-term concerns. But the goal scorers today, Keith Larson, then it was Andrew Durakshian, then Mateo Correa, and then Braden Stevanovic, your purple goal scorers today. Exciting match. Great to see a test passed. You're gonna go down a goal at some point through a season, and
right.
And County not buckling under the pressure of going down and really being on the back foot for the opening 30 minutes. Really good stop and good stuff from this team to stick with the plan, adjust the plan even. Because they were, definitely not winning the 50-50s. They were slower to the balls, but they did a couple tweaks, adjusted their passing patterns and their movement. And then Larson got them on even terms. But, yeah, good selection by Correa. Not only was it a beautiful goal and finish, but it also really kind of sealed the deal to a degree and really put the game fully in County's hands.
It cemented things. Whenever you score 2 goals, 2 goals in 4 minutes, particularly just, 8 minutes out of the halftime break. That'll certainly flip the script, and it's exactly what County needed to slow things down today. I think you mentioned it. Not every game is going to go exactly according to plan, and head coach Steve Walker will have wanted his team to play through some adversity to know what they're made of, and he got a little taste of that here today. He made the adjustments.
The gentleman on the far side on the fence, he says he's okay, but he had to be paying attention there. The Ann Arbor defender put that out of bounds with some venom on the far side. The man in the red hat, he's having a chuckle about it now, but he almost got his head taken off there.
Glad he's all right. That was wicked.
But we are now into second half stoppage time. Rocco Delgadice passes that down the line.
But it's going to be important throughout a season to win in different ways. You're not always going to come out, score the first goal, escort things to extend the lead and escort things across the finish line. You're going to have to come from behind. You're going to have to show some grit and fortitude, and that's exactly what County did here this afternoon.
It's been a long time since number 12 for Ann Arbor got the visitors ahead. And he's been a strong presence, but his influence on the game lessened as minutes ticked off the clock. And
we should say, too, I mean, outside of the opening goal and a couple of half chances in the first half, Ann Arbor hasn't done much to threaten Rob Jelli in goal much at all. As I think back through the second half here, can't think of a save that he had to make.
Nothing outstanding comes to mind in the opponent's goal. Reese Smaller in all gray, he definitely provided a couple big saves. He denied Duraxian a second goal on a number of occasions. I can think of that header he tipped around the post, and at least one more. Yeah, he stopped one. I think it was Stevanovic or maybe Duraxian that he stopped when he sat down on the ball. And Jella able to comfortably catch that one and roll it back out as we're getting deep and deeper into stoppage time. Nick Wilson on his debut.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from the newcomers here
yeah.
today, too. Romeo Lamai was very strong coming in as a sub. Nick Wilson getting his first start for County. So those two maybe a pairing to look out for, as Etameo might be out for some time. We don't know. We'll have to check his injury status. But things are really taking shape here for County. You can see the chess pieces on the board arranged the way that Steve Walker wants them, and you can start to see some of the strings that he'll pull when needed.
And just to kind of bring us back to center, hopefully this isn't an expensive win, having a center back go down and then two of the goal scorers kind of hobbled upon substitution. So hopefully it's not a high price to pay here for this W, but 4-0 for the first time if nothing extraterrestrial happens here in the last few moments of stoppage time. County getting into uncharted territories here in the 10th season on the field.
Well, and here's the beautiful teaser tie-in that we can do, Rob, as injuries pop up on the senior team here. Make sure everybody is tuned in at 6:30 for the 2 team to get a little taste of some players that you might have to see later on.
And there is the final whistle. Oakland County FC come back from their first deficit of the season. They got an equalizer just before the halftime break, and then 2 goals quickly from the halftime break, and a deal sealer later on gives County a 4-1 win. 4 wins and 4 attempts, 12 points on the board, brings them to the top of the Great Lakes Division. Oakland County FC return to action next week as Lansing City come into town next Saturday on the 6th of June. And then following that, County are on the road on the 10th out in Grand Rapids to play Midwest United. And then the big one, the 13th of June. Fellow table-topping Flint City Bucks coming in here. What do we think about this next 2 weeks, Mitch?
It's going to be crucial just to keep up the positive momentum. Big step forward here today. Just in the result, obviously taking home 3 points, but the way that it had to be accomplished, showing a little bit of grit, fortitude, a different way of approaching the game. Guys stepped up after a bit of a slow start. And, yeah, the next 2 weeks are going to be crucial just to keep racking up those points. We know there's only one playoff spot guaranteed, and as long as Flint keeps winning, we're going to have to do the same.
All right, we will be back here on Sports Engine Play for another USL broadcast next Saturday, June 6th, as Oakland County FC take on Lansing City. But sports fans, soccer fans, Oakland County lovers, stick with us today for the second game in the doubleheader here in Royal Oak, Michigan. 6:30 kickoff for Oakland County FC 2 versus the Michigan Development County in their home opener in the Midwest Premier League. So for me, Robert Kerr, my partner Mitch Gatzke, and the OCFC Stream team, and all the wonderful OCFC sponsors, take care, bleed purple, and enjoy your soccer.